Good morning, all you Eastsiders. It's time for Eastside Connect, ESABA's weekly or sometimes weekly, but pretty much every week in 2021 here, meeting to connect and talk, work on topics, and stay in the game with each other on the east side of St. Paul. Here are our annual sponsors for ESABA, Ideal Printers, DV Creative, Harrington Langer and Associates, State Farm, the Office of Juan Cervantes, State Farm, the Sane Foundation, M Health Fairview, St. Paul Federal Credit Union, the St. Paul Port Authority, Highway, Sunrise Banks, Metropolitan State University, Mueller Memorial, Walters Recycling, and Health Partners. It's great to have all of you on the show today. We've got an opportunity. Go ahead and drop in the chat a little bit of intro about yourselves, which is a typical feature. Open the chat too, and you can ask questions or comments as we go through the program. Let's do some introductions right now, and when we're done with introductions, I'll post our agenda for today and also just kind of warm you up on the topic. So first of all, I feel like a game show host today. I'm wearing my shiny shirt, so like, let's see who's playing on today's show. I don't know. It feels like Hollywood Squares, these Zoom meetings. Why have we never done Hollywood Squares on Zoom? There's still stuff for us to do, even though this is our last official meeting in this series. So here we go. If you own a small business or are connected to a small business on the east side or business of any size on the east side, give us a wave. We've got Jorge right up in the center there. We've got Darren Varley over there at DV Creative. That's great. Both board members of ESABA, and glad to have you. Darren, an annual sponsor. If you are a part of an east side nonprofit, give us a wave. We've got Haley Ball from Urban Roots, Jean Melanson from Cornerstone, Rachel Speck from the East Side Employment Exchange, Aaron Nosich from First Covenant. Aaron, glad to have you back on the show. It's been a while. Yeah, really glad to see you. If you are part of a public-private partnership that is the St. Paul Port Authority and you're at the Hams Brewery today, you are Tanya Bauer. Hello, Tanya. Glad that you're here. The Port Authority is also a sponsor of ESABA. And we just had Ann DeJoy, or the top half of Ann's head, come on to the meeting. Hey there, Ann. Ann's from ESNDC, longtime, fantastic, good work going on, champion of businesses on the east side. And we just did introductions, and you can drop your any info about yourself that's new and we don't know. That would be kind of a fun challenge too. Anything new that we don't know, drop that in the chat too. She's thinking about it. Okay, so our guest stars today are special guests. Jorge Samper, the owner of the BP Sunray, came to me with this topic, I don't know, maybe in April or March. He was like, I think let's do this. Let's talk this through. Today we're talking about reviews, and we're doing it with Todd LaGiudice from Broadly, that is coming to us from the Bay Area of California, Alameda. And that's one of the beauties of Zoom. We can have guest stars from someplace else, not even just my private island in the Caribbean where Jorge is hanging out, even though he looks like he's at the BP. So Todd's here with us from Alameda, and we're going to talk about reviews today. And we're going to start with Jorge and why this was an important topic for him to begin with, and why he suggested this, and how this kind of made sense for his business. So we'll let him take it away, and then we'll turn it over to Todd, and we'll also get you involved a little bit in the conversation about where you find reviews, and kind of investigating our own behavior. Where do you, for what do you look for reviews? Where do you post reviews? If you're a business, how do you use reviews on your site, and why do you think it's important? Todd's going to lead us through all of that. But let's kick it off with Jorge. Jorge, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Paris, and thank you everybody for coming in. So a little bit about our business. We bought Sunray BP back in 2014, and since then we were only able to get about 24 reviews in Google for our business. And what we were finding is that our Google rankings were not as good because we were not getting the reviews. And not only that, that the customers that for whatever reason didn't have a good experience, those were the ones that were looking out to make a review in Google. But all the 99.99% customers that have a really good experience, they didn't know where to go, or they didn't know that we wanted them to make a review of our business. And so one of these days, I was getting gutters for my house, and this gutter place sent me a review notification. Hey, do you want to give us a review via text in my phone? It's like, this looks like a fantastic way to ask for reviews. And that's how I met our friend here, Todd, and we got into talking, and he suggested this solution, which eventually, in the past 2 to 3 months, we have been able to get 100% more reviews. So we're at 56 reviews now, and we went from a 3.0 rating, and now we're hovering around 4.1, 4.2, and each day we're getting even more. So it's been a great solution for us. It's been ranking us much better in Google. So now we're not all the way down when people are searching for our repairs. And with that, I would like to hand it off to Todd to answer a little bit more to tell us a little bit more about Broadly and why it could be a good solution for your business as well.
Great. Awesome introduction. Thank you so much, Jorge. Would it be okay if I shared my screen? Or let me see how I can do that.
Yeah, let me work on it for just a second, Todd.
Sure. So again, my name is Todd. The company I'm with here is Broadly. Got introduced to Jorge, just like he said, through another account of ours out there. And I kind of want to just really focus the conversation and make it more general, because I know a lot of nonprofit folks out there too, and make it not necessarily all about how do you grow your business, but really how do you keep in touch with your customers, whether it's in a nonprofit or a business, and how do you provide that great customer experience for them, which eventually will lead to good reviews. So I got a little bit of my demo that I want to share with you that just is like a little bit of overview. And then I just really want to open it up to questions for you folks to see, do you have an online presence? How do you cultivate that online presence? And when it comes to reviews, how do you make it easy for those happy folks to leave your review? So let me start and see let me see, can I show my screen now, Paris? Let me see, can you folks, let's see, share my screen.
To, Todd. You should be able to go down to share screen and just click on
it. Right. Share screen. Here it is. Great. Let me know if everybody can see the screen. Great. Okay. So this is how we help businesses grow. Start here. One, just get you discovered. Have a presence on the platforms where you want to be found. And fortunately now, most of these listings are free, whether it's your Google listing, your Facebook listing, a Yelp listing, or Nextdoor listing. Those are the major platforms that we focus on. So have your listing there. That way, when somebody's searching for you, you're going to get found. And then another feature we offer too is once folks find you on Google, for example, the next thing they do is go visit your website. You want to have ways for your clients, your customers to reach you via the website. So of course, you've got your phone number there. You might have a contact form there. We also offer a web chat feature. And you folks have probably come across web chat as consumers out there. And it's another easy way for a customer to reach you. So I'll show you a little bit of that. And then we also think it's really important to be able to communicate with your clients via text. Really communicate with the clients the way they want to communicate, whether it's phone, email, text. Be able to do that in a way that's efficient and communicates, timely with your customers. And I like to do it in a platform where I'm sitting at my desk. I've become so used to texting on my computer, both for business purposes and just personal preferences. And would like to hear if it, just maybe a show of hands, have any of you folks adopted sort of the desktop version of your text messages for your personal phone? Nobody's done that? It's pretty easy. You can do it right through, if you have a, it's basically, it's a simple way to just get your text messaging online. So you can do that with your personal phone, but you can also do it with a application like ours. And then the other part at the end of a service here, of course, is getting paid. And Broadly has a way where we can request the payment, whether it's over the phone, via email, or via text. And then the last part, once the service is done, that's the time to ask for the review. And it can vary for different businesses, different services, when is the appropriate time to ask for that review, whether it's immediately after the service, or in some cases, some folks, maybe Jorge can kind of comment on this too. Some shop owners, for example, say, hey, I don't want my customer to get that review request for at least a day because I want them to get the vehicle home. I want to make sure there's no issue. And if there is an issue, I want to address it before I ask for that review. I forget how you do it, Jorge. Do you ask for the review immediately after they leave, 24 hours, or what have you found best?
I've found best about 45 minutes after I print the invoice. That way it's fresh in their mind, and I'm able to remind them or let them know what's going to happen. So and if possible, do it right there and then. Good.
Excellent. And the other thing we also preach is we call it a verbal prompt, sort of telling the client or telling the customer, hey, what to expect and what to do if they want to leave a review. And my pitch is pretty simple. Just, hey, Mr. Customer, are you happy with the way everything went? Yep, we're happy. Great. Be on the lookout for a message from us. Want to thank you for your business and would love to hear your feedback. And the message I'm going to send you is going to make it as easy as possible for you to leave a review on your favorite platform. And please do. It would mean the world to us. And if there was anything you were not happy with, please call us immediately, or within the message I send you, you can also respond privately. And please do. We want to hear feedback, good or bad. So this system ends up getting you good, consistent reviews on the platforms where you want to be, so that more people find you, more people call you, more people turn into a customer, more people leave another review. And the beauty of this strategy is you're basically driving business to yourself through the great work you're doing and the great feedback folks are leaving in the form of a review. And you're not necessarily paying thousands of dollars in radio ads or pay-per-click, which sometimes can be effective, but sometimes can't. Let me pause here. Any questions here about this overall strategy here? Does it kind of ring true to you folks? Cool. I'll continue. And I'm going to go through kind of the features we offer. And we have competitors out there. There's lots of different options to accomplish what we do. We bundle it all in one package. So I'll just kind of go through it, but you can kind of look at these solutions individually or sort of as a package like this. Web chat is a new feature that you folks see on websites everywhere. The appeal is easy way for a consumer to reach you that may not involve giving you a call or physically visiting you. And the nice thing about our web chat feature is we man the chat for the business 24/7. So the business owner doesn't have to be there engaging with every visitor. And this is how it works. Somebody comes onto the website, they see the chat bot, they click on it, they ask a question. Our automated response is, we'd love to follow up with you. Could you please provide your name and number? Then once the client leaves a valid name and number, and we do filter anything that appears to be spam. But once we can identify, hey, this looks like a real person, we tell them, thank you. Somebody's going to get back to you right away. At that moment, we drop a new lead into your Broadly inbox. So this is what the Broadly app would look like on your desktop computer. So Broadly functions as a mobile app and a desktop app. And business owners can have it downloaded on as many devices as they like, and they can have as many of their team members logged in at the same time as they like. So here's the inbox. Here's your messages coming in real time. A lead is identified as a lead. Somebody who left you a review is here. Somebody left a payment. It's really just one inbox for all of your communications and all your activity. And let me go back here.
Question for you.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So these are awesome tools and resources for businesses in this. And as we know, oftentimes when people leave reviews are semi-emotion based to some degree. And they're usually on one spectrum or the other of an emotion. And people, I think human behavior is more apt to leave a review when they're experiencing a negative, bad experience than when they are a positive experience. And as we know, or, as we know, negative online reviews can be detrimental to businesses. How has that been, I'm just kind of curious within your own software, and Jorge, I'd love to hear your experience. I know you probably haven't had any negative reviews because you offer superb service, but I'm just curious on where the balance of that is, because it can be a very slippery slope.
Excellent question. And just looking at sort of the numbers, and of course, I'm kind of focusing on the good businesses that we work with. They largely do get majority good reviews. And I think some of that verbal prompting does help, saying, hey, if you're happy, leave us a review. If you're not, please tell us, let us fix it. Let's make it right. However, no matter how great your business is and how much service you do, there's always the chance some customers are not going to be satisfied, and you can get a negative review. If you look at the numbers, though, you'll see overwhelmingly the good businesses usually that are offering good service get overwhelmingly more positive than negative. Even use Jorge for an example. He's got right here 56 reviews out of 4.1. So definitely more 5-star than 1-star reviews. But here's the opportunity too. When a bad review is left, that is the opportunity for the business owner to address that bad review. So we're always encouraging business owners to, meet that bad review head on. Call the customer. Hey, I saw that review. Sorry, how can we fix it? And the other important element is responding to reviews. The business owner or whoever owns that page has the ability to respond to all the reviews. And we always encourage everybody, respond to every review. Customer took their time to leave you a review, whether it's positive or negative, take the time to thank them. And if it is a negative review, respond to that review. And the benefit there is you're really telling the world, showing the world how you respond to your customers. And so, you want to turn a negative into a positive. And no business out there is immune to a bad review, but what's important is the response. And that's what you can really display in your responses publicly. And a lot of times they're miscommunications, they're a review for the wrong business. it is a little tough to get folks sometimes to change the review, but folks can do that. If you say, hey, we resolved this problem, would you mind going back, change the review? Instead of giving us a 1, could you give us a 5? And that would be the best way I'd recommend addressing that.
Thank you.
Sounds good? Cool. So let me go back a little bit here just to kind of follow along sort of the customer journey. So when I was speaking to you folks about, hey, just being able to communicate with the folks the way they want to communicate, here's kind of an example, and I'm using the auto shop example because we got Jorge here. Here's the example. Customer has their vehicle in the shop. Shop owner is communicating back and forth via text to the customer saying, hey, here's your dirty filter. Would you like us to replace it? Customer is responding back, yes, please go ahead. And the nice thing about all these communications are they're saved on both ends, right? The customer has this communication saved on their phone. You have all these communications saved in your Broadly app. And then when it comes time for the payment, here's a very simple way to request the payment. You put in a simple description, send the payment request to the customer. Customer gets the invoice, opens it up, pays with that whatever credit card they like. They can also use Google Pay and Apple Pay. Then once they pay you, customer gets an electronic copy of the invoice and receipt. Business owner gets the same copies. Funds hit the bank in 2 business days. And it's standard credit card processing fees. Any questions there? Let me continue then. And here's kind of the last part. Customer has paid for the service, has picked up the vehicle, and I'm pretty sure this is how we have Jorge set up too. With our platform, you might hear this term quite a bit. We always aim to integrate with whatever other software the business owner is using. And in Jorge's example, it's typically, their shop management system, so that when they finish the job, the message goes out automatically through the integration. And we always strive for these integrations because it automates things, makes less work for the business owner. However, in some cases, for smaller volume businesses that don't necessarily need that automation, this can be done also manually. So picture now the customer's picked up the vehicle, they're happy. This message is going to go out to them shortly after they pick up the vehicle. And it's coming from the business, has their name, their logo, their photo. And it's saying, thank you. Would you click here to leave a review? Here's the power of our software. When the consumer clicks to leave the review, the software recognizes which platform the customer is most active on. Whether it's Google, Yelp, Facebook, Nextdoor, or whichever platforms are important for your reviews, and then takes the consumer directly to their favorite platform, to the business profile, right to the section to leave the review. So the consumer can click on the 5-star review, put in a comment, hit post, and that quickly and that easily, you got a brand new review. Key was only took the customer a couple of seconds to do it, and the software and the messaging brought the customer to their favorite platform, right to the section to leave the review. The strategy here, again, is, hey, reviews in general are hard to get. You're lucky if you get, even with a system like ours, 10, 20% response rate. If you don't have a system in place and sort of, hey, we just want to do good work. If people want to go ahead and leave a review, we'll ask them. But that's what we do. The response rates there, in a lot of cases, are less than 1%. If you see 100 customers, you might get 1 review. A system like Broadly, we get some customers who will see 20, 30% response rates. And I'll touch back a little bit more on the app here just to show you just a few more features. Again, here's the inbox. The team feature is where you have all the different members of your team logged into Broadly with their own unique logins. And then this is what we call team chat, sort of giving the members of the team the ability to communicate internally. I don't know if you folks have heard of Slack. That's a very popular internal communication tool. This is sort of our version of Slack, where the individuals on the team can message each other, or you can also message the whole group. And then we offer a few reports here to just help you manage everything. Here's a running tally of all the reviews on all the major platforms, most recent review at the top. Here's also where you can respond to those individual reviews. And then we also, let me show you the next report here. There's a report here with just the invoices sent out, when they were paid, when the payouts hit your bank. And then we have a dashboard. The dashboard is basically allowing you to monitor those ratings reviews over time on all these different platforms, and also give you the ability to respond easily to those reviews right here within the platform. That's pretty much the whole thing. I'll show you a couple of the things we do. We also do website development as an add-on, and we also include a couple of features for the website. The web chat is one of them. This is one line of code for whatever type of website you're using. And then our review stream is the other feature that we do for websites. And the way this works is each time the business gets a positive review, a 4 or 5 star review, it appears on the website automatically. And this is another client of ours. We help them with 400 reviews, and here's their review stream. And notice the difference between this review stream and a lot of other ones that you see on certain sites, that you probably notice a lot of people kind of cut and paste reviews, and it's always hard to tell, where these reviews come from. Are they real? This is the difference with ours. All of these are real, and all these are verifiable. And you can quickly tell it's real just because, hey, it's got the customer's full name, has their picture, has the date, and then we also provide the link to the review. So just to kind of tell the world, whoever's looking at your website, this is a business that's doing great work. They're getting real reviews from real customers, and they're verifiable. Question?
Yeah. So if you have a website on some other platform, WordPress or something else, and you're using your service, can you get like embed code to put?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, so you can get that and put it on other platforms.
Yep.
Okay, and it updates in real time?
It does.
Okay.
Yep. Both this review stream and this web chat feature you use the exact term we use, a web embed. So it's basically one line of code for the website. And you can either just, if you manage your own website, you can add their own code. If you have somebody that does it, you can send it to them. If you have your login, we can do it for you.
Todd, I have a question.
Sure.
I have a question for you about the actual question that you give your clients. Have you done any research? And if, like if you say the question is, how satisfied are you with the service? People might tend to answer it. If you word it a different way, people are less inclined. So talk a little bit about how do you make that question succinct, but driving towards what you want to get from the customer?
Yes. Well, good question. And we do allow, let me go back and I'll show you the content that we use here. This is a pretty simple one. Thank you. Would you click here to leave a review? Now, some of this content is editable, and kind of like thinking what you're thinking of, you can include a message here. Hey, something like, could you please take a minute to leave us a review? It would be really helpful for other consumers like yourself to know about your experience. So you certainly can use your own language. And of course, we can certainly give you advice on, hey, which messaging seems to work best. I can't really quote you any statistics on this, but I think your point is definitely valid. You want to ask the right way, do it in a professional, courteous way, but of course designed to get you the best results. And I think that's definitely something we talk about with customers, because the customer does have the ability, and I'll show you a little bit here in the app, where you go to your settings, you go to your messaging, and then here is the logo. Here's the message. In this case, this is just our demo account. The Town Shop appreciates your business. Please leave us a review to let us know how it went and to help other customers like you. If that works, great. If you want to customize it however you like, you can do that. That answer your question?
Unmute again, Gene.
Yes, it does. And I have another question as it relates to when I, as a customer, am looking at reviews, and let's say I go to something like Amazon, and I've read something about how those reviews are created and they might be stacked. So I go through the reviews, but I have a certain degree of skepticism about the reviews. So talk about how some of these larger corporations create their reviews.
Yeah, and I can give you, I'm going to give you limited feedback on Amazon, because it's not a platform where our customers use too often. It's more, but I'm certainly aware of it as a consumer. But let me comment here on Google, for example, and use Jorge for an example. I'm a consumer searching for the services. I find Jorge, I see these reviews, I click here to look at his 56 reviews. I always like to sort with the newest first. And then I just read down here. And you know what? There's definitely been examples I've seen in the past of companies creating false reviews, having the friends, the employees leave a review. But we strongly, of course, discourage that. And in most cases, people don't really do that. It's not a practice which Google looks upon well, or Yelp looks upon well. They're looking for real reviews. And as a consumer, consumers get savvy, and they kind of can, they can look through these reviews and sort of pick and choose, which ones ring true to them. But I think it just goes back to the strategy of, hey, in general, reviews are hard to get, but consumers do look at them. So whatever type of business organization you have, be cognizant of your online presence, and be careful about the whole type of customer client experience you're trying to create. And and in some cases, reviews are a very important part of the business. In other business, maybe in other industries, maybe not so much. But here's the thing, and we talk about all these different platforms. Some people, I don't like Yelp. I go, I understand. Yelp can be a challenging company to work with. However, it's also a powerful platform that a lot of consumers use. So it's in your best interest as a business owner to protect that reputation online on all those different platforms, because none of us really know, which platform next year is going to be the big one. It changes. So kind of just keep that in mind, just in general, with your overall online presence. And that's pretty much the whole package we offer.
Todd, I think Darren had a question.
Yeah,
or Darren,
I got one more.
Sure.
This might be more of a confirmation, but so you just said that reviews are more important for some businesses than others. Obviously, Jorge's getting a bunch of great reviews is much more important than like my business, more B2B focused. But the more reviews you have, it does help your organic search engine optimization, right? Your SEO. Am I right
That's
about
true.
that?
That's true. That's true, especially when it comes to a Google search.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
With the other, what you mentioned too, that whole SEO part of the website, that's the nice thing too about displaying those reviews for our clients. With that extra feature we have, so that each new review gets onto the website automatically. The nice little bonus there is Google recognizes each of those new reviews as fresh content on the site, which helps with your SEO score. And for folks, for a lot of folks that may never do one edit to their site all year, having 1 or 2 reviews come in every week is a nice little natural edit to their website and an SEO boost. And I'll tell you, our service fits particularly well for those businesses that reviews are important. But I'll just give you a couple of parameters where we really work well. And then I want to open up the conversation to just in general, what do you want to do for your business organization online, even if, a solution like Broadly isn't appropriate for your business. But for us, again, we focus on a few verticals that we do really well. Auto is one of them. Home services is another. Professional services have done really well with us too, whether it's a dentist, a doctor, a chiropractor. The other industry we've done really well in is the whole pet industry. And the couple of the parameters that make a good fit for us is, of course, reviews are important, but also it's a business that does capture the customer's name, number, and email, because that's what gives us the ability to communicate. So, for example, to bring up an example that doesn't usually isn't a good fit, restaurants. Although restaurants reviews are hugely important, restaurants aren't typically capturing customers' name, email, and mobile, so it doesn't give us any ability to message those folks. So again, those other services we look to, and the other thing we look for businesses that have, say, a volume of minimum 40 customers per month. Because it's still, the whole review generation is a little bit of a numbers game. Again, if you're going to be a great business and you're getting 20% type of response rates and you're seeing 40 customers a month, that's translating into 8 reviews per month. For a business that's only seeing 3 or 4 people a month, the volume isn't there to see enough benefit.
Totally makes sense, Todd. So just wanted to say here, it seems like my question is in summary, and then let's break this open and talk a little bit about how this crew sees reviews, uses reviews, and thinks about reviews with their organizations and businesses. It sounds to me like Google, if you aren't using, or if you don't fit into kind of Broadly's profile of key customer, so you're not auto, home service, pets, or capturing email, number, or name, you can definitely have a strategy to encourage your customers to give you positive reviews. It can become a part of your messaging to just say, if you enjoyed our service, or if you liked eating here today, please give us a positive review on Google, or give us a positive review on Yelp. Depending on which platform you feel like is most important to you, you can try to push your customer that direction, and that's a good message.
For sure.
I also like the corollary message. Hey, if something went wrong today, please tell me.
Yes.
I want to fix it.
Yes.
And the other thing that seems to make sense, just basically, and I just want to confirm too, is that if you don't have a presence right now out there at all, but you're concerned about how you're showing up in search engine, in searches, and Google sounds like it would be a nice place to prop your business and also ask for reviews. Like we've got a Google profile. We'd love to get a review on Google from you. That might be that might be a way to go. I kind of hear you, right, about those things, Todd? You know,
Yes.
general,
Yep.
like if we're not asking for reviews, we should be.
Exactly.
And if we're talking about most bang for our buck, a Google profile is probably a good place to ask for folks to engage with us.
Sure. And I would say most folks now, these type of businesses will have a Google, Yelp, Facebook, and a Nextdoor profile.
Got it.
And if they're all free, they're all pretty simple to set up. The only tricky thing about Google is Google wants to confirm your local business with a local address.
Yeah.
So when you sign up for Google, they're going to send you a postcard to that address with a confirmation code, which is all you need to do to enable your Google business page.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually looking at ESABA's Google business page right now. I was curious about our search engine optimization when you said that. So I just typed ESABA into the Google browser. And I can see that our phone number is wrong. So, you know, there's some things I need to learn about how to keep up with this. And I think that is the next challenge for any small business in our network. And I'm interested in folks just commenting on this too. You know, how easy is it to keep up with all of the places that you could be getting reviews or your information could be pushed out there so that you can respond to everybody who's responding to you? I think that is one of those, that's one of those things about modern life, Todd. I'm not that crazy about.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I think of course it's in the best interest to, you know, have that presence there, have it accurate, have the right phone numbers, and, you know, to be aware of any comments, reviews that are coming in from clients or customers.
So Todd, if you would just not share screen, let's see if we can see the folks who were left. We had some folks who had to duck out. Oh, and that was Tanya ducking out, that little wave. I thought maybe she wanted to ask a question. All right. So in terms of questions about this, can we just open up and kind of get some of these folks to comment on how do you use reviews? Do you feel like the reviews are super important for some of the consumer decisions that you make? And or, you know, when you're talking to businesses and connecting with them, how are they talking about this aspect of their business? I was talking to a board member this week at our membership committee meeting, Taylor from Mueller Memorial, who just said, yes, I wish that I could be on that call on Thursday. I have found that whenever I am making a purchase for an appliance or a service like a rental car or something like that, I am always reading the reviews. As the number one, you know, like word of mouth is important for the restaurants I go to, and I go to ones that I know I already like. But when I'm buying something big, I'm reading the reviews. So, you know, and that was one of the things that I think has just become a part of the way we do business now, more and more. And I wonder, do you, you know, Gene, Ann, Darren, do you all feel that too? Yeah, go ahead, Gene.
Yeah, unmute here. You know, from a school perspective, this is something that we certainly are looking at is having more of a social media presence. And then it's kind of always a trade-off of, you know, like doing the business analysis or the financial analysis and saying, how much is this going to cost us? Once we hop over, it's a annual charge, it's a monthly charge, and then who's going to maintain it? You know, and so we're going in that direction and slowly, and it's purely, you know, part of it is a budget thing. And what we realize too, from a school perspective, so much of it is word of mouth, is that it's the parents talking to the other parents and they have a good experience. And what we would like to see is, as we go to a social presence, a social media presence, how many of our customers are going to go to that versus still talk to their neighbors about what's good. So, you know, like I'm convinced we need to go in that direction. It's just money and resources to maintain it.
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment on
Go ahead, Todd.
You know, as me as a consumer, you know, even if somebody refers a restaurant, an auto shop to me, whether it's my brother, whoever, somebody who I really trust, I still look at reviews. Yeah. Because my brother's one person. I'd like to see what all the other customers think. So we hear statistics, 80% of consumers check reviews before they choose a business. And I think personally, I feel that for myself, but I think that's the way the trend is going.
Tanya dropped, as she left the meeting, she dropped this comment in the chat. Just have a look at that. I wonder where she got those numbers.
Let me see what she said, Tanya. Yeah, 97% of all consumers use online media when researching products and service in their area. 91%. Yeah. I think
that's huge, right?
They seem accurate. Yeah.
Right. 97% of all consumers use online media when researching products, and 91% of 18 to 34-year-olds trust online sources and reviews as much as personal recommendations. So
I've heard that before too.
Where are we going for lunch? Let's figure it out. And Joy, what do you chime on in?
I agree that some businesses, I'll just use ESNDC for example. We're a neighborhood-based, geographically focused. We don't have a wide array of products. We do services. I don't know that reviews really apply to us or would benefit one way or the other. We always have more demand for our services so we don't need the advertising. But my spouse owns a concrete company, and I think there is because people know what concrete looks like, but there's a lot of variety. There's a variety in quality and service and performance and all of that. He gets a lot of great reviews, but he doesn't know, we're not tracking them. That's the thing. Like somebody would call and said, "Oh, I saw you on Facebook. Oh, I saw you on Twitter." He doesn't even follow Twitter. So some satisfied customer threw it out there. Another was next door. And so he's getting good reviews and he's getting business from them, but he's not able to track it or even, has a Facebook page. It was just established a few months ago, has a website and gets emails from the website, but I think it's hard to get your arms around it. Luckily, it's all good. He's getting good reviews, but has no control over it,
And also no way to know where he should go and respond to. I mean, Todd, I love your suggestion. Like what we're talking about really here is communication, and good communication you ought to communicate with too, but I have this problem too. Like I just don't want to sit and watch my Facebook feed. I'm sorry, I have other things I have to do that involve my real body. We are 3D, it's hard to believe.
Well, so here's the fear. Here's the fear about not responding and not following it is I tried to call this guy 10 times and he never called me back. Just because it's out there and he's super busy right now. And something like that could hurt him because it implies bad service or I don't care about your business or, it implies a lot of different things. I'm not calling you back because of where I live, because, you're not calling from Minnetonka or,
Totally.
So
and it's hard to know where people are posting if you don't know where they're posting and if you're not tracking it. Right. And so Todd, and to Jean's comment too, like what costs money, it's free to set up these profiles, but as Ann pointed out, it takes time, it takes somebody's attention, really pay attention to them. And it's important. Yeah.
And I think with a small business, it is important that somebody in the organization takes over that responsibility.
Yep.
And of course, there are companies out there that provide these services as well, not just like companies like ours, but plenty of what would be the marketing companies. And I think was it Darren? Does your company provide these type of services?
We would, I guess, but we haven't.
Yeah, the businesses I speak to, a lot of times they're managing it on their own, but some of the other larger businesses that have the budget will have a third party outside marketing company that is going to somehow maintain or monitor their social media. Mm. In like some of the services they'll provide they'll set up the pages, they'll provide some content, do some blogging. For smaller businesses that don't have a large budget for a marketing company, I try to get them to embrace it and have somebody in-house take responsibility for that. And a lot of times it might be hard for the owner to do that, right? Just because either they're just so busy that they don't have the bandwidth. But the other thing is, and I'm not trying to pick on shop owners, but I'll talk to some shop owners that don't want to do it. They're like, I like to fix cars. I don't care about this stuff. And I've been in business for 50 years and I'm doing fine. And I say, that's great, but just be aware that, times change, consumers change. This is a new part of your business that you want to embrace, embrace it. Don't get caught, ignoring it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a good message. That's a good place for us to kind of just wrap on too. We've got a couple of announcements. And this is one of the things that ESABA wants to keep on that previous sentence. We want to keep talking about things that are exactly like that, Todd. What are the things that business owners should be thinking about? What are the things that organizations should be watching? And how can we together kind of spread the news so we can do this in a good way? Todd, I want to just invite you to put your contact information in. Ann works with tons of businesses on the East Side, Arcade and Payne Avenue and elsewhere too. And may have some folks who would be kind of good for this conversation. And this, this link to this conversation itself will be up on ESABA's YouTube channel. You just, people can get to know Todd a little bit before they call him if they want to,
Yeah. So yeah, please, anybody who wants to talk about any of this any further or anybody else who has a business, don't hesitate to call me. The advice is free. If Broadly's a good solution, of course, we'd love to help you. But if you just want to just talk in general about business, customer experience, use me as a resource.
That's great. Darren has posted the Payne Avenue, Payne area reboot survey. Darren, you want to say a minute about that or another announcement?
No, about that, and you can chime in when I'm done and add anything. So the reboot group is in the process of creating a brand for the Payne area. And we created this nice Survey Monkey link with, I think, 6 questions. And we'd love anybody that's interested in that area, visits that area, wants to see that area grow, get better, to check them out and provide your input. So just as a little, the results of this, the group will take these results, will review them, and they'll be used as kind of a creative brief, so to speak, to create a logo and a tagliners for the area. That will also be 3 options will be distributed to the community and everybody to vote on. So
great.
And I think it's going to be open until the end of next week. We have our meeting in the middle next Wednesday, so we'll probably talk if we want to keep it open another week or whatnot. But the link is right in the chat. And Paris, if you can, I think you pushed it out already, but keep pushing it out if you can.
Yep, let's do it, Darren. Let's actually put it on the let's make a banner for it and put it on the website.
Oh yeah, I've got it on our social media feeds, but yeah,
I saw that. Yeah, and that's great. And we'll put it. I'll get it in the newsletter so that it's more prominent this time around, this next week. Yeah, cool idea. Totally great. Here, just a few more announcements. Ann, anything to add about the Payne area reboot survey?
No, it's always a challenge getting people to fill out Survey Monkeys. So if anybody has any, great ideas about how to get more input that way, that's always a challenge for us.
That's Todd's next business, Ann.
You know, you know what you see companies doing all the time now. They're putting out some little offer to do it.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's a Starbucks gift card or something like that.
Free car wash at BP Sunray. There you go.
There you go.
So here are the other things that are coming up. We've got 2 meetings on June 29th, which is kind of interesting. Sweet Hollow signage that the city is kind of pulling together. 6 to 7 p.m. is in person. It's going to be kind of a ball. And June 29th, that we're having a city budget and the American Rescue Act. The mayor's office and our city council, this is our city council members that are bringing this forward. They want to know what we should do with this money. What do St. Paul residents and folks think they can do? Yeah, Ann, I see you got some ideas right there. Anyway, so they're having a Zoom meeting that's right on top of the Sweet Hollow signage meeting. In any case, we're going to Vegas in October, and there's still room. Schweitz's reunion from the Brunson's crowd is coming with us, and ESABA, and Steve Ledine's kind of leading the charge on that. And then in the middle of July, like we've never done before, we're going to have an ESABA annual meeting doubleheader. We're going to have a meeting in the morning. This will be our next Zoom opportunity. So we won't have any Zoom opportunities between now and Thursday, July 15th. Time is still up in the air, but it'll be a morning meeting. It'll be either in this time slot or a little earlier, see if we can capture some members that can't come right at lunchtime. We're still debating on that. But the other exciting thing is we're going to meet in person for a reception at the Phelan Picnic Pavilion from 4 to 6 with free food and a gourmet hot dog toppings bar. And Marv is going to bring the tap wagon over from Party Time Liquors, and it's all going to be free drinks and, well, not drinks, but free beverages and free food for a reception. Introduce new board members and old board members and each other to each other in 3D. So that's going to be a lot of fun on July 15th from 4 to 6. So be watching for news and information about that. And, you know, Todd, if you happen to be in town from Alameda, just swing on by.
Would love to. Yeah,
I would love to, you know, treat you to a free dog.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much for being on the show. Todd LaGiudice from Broadly and Jorge Samper from BP Sunray, and all of us signing off for ESABA and this series. It's going to be fun to do something new and something in person. And that's
thanks again, Paris. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Todd, for being on. Bye.
Okay. You take care.